Plug it in and get ready to rock.
Sit your ass down at the hands of the clock.
With Renegade Pineapple so sublime.
Like, comment, subscribe. It's time! Yeah. Hello and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. And also the Noisy Sewer. So I said last episode I'd look around a little bit more. I'll be honest, I didn't do that because I found a thing immediately. I noticed that this hadn't gone green, so I looked again. And if you click on these barrels here...
Empty and unsealed.
Okay, he won't say it a second time. That's very irritating. So he says about it being empty and unsealed, and says that that must be how they got the money out. Because they put the money into barrels and threw them into the water to be washed away for someone else to pick up somewhere else, is what I think he explained. Something along those lines. But he said, I should go and tell Lestrade. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and tell Lestrade. So, we are back.
Release myself.
There's a pole there. Can I talk to Lestrade?
Locked.
Oh. Then why the fuck did you say we need to talk to Lestrade about this? Oh, great. So it seems like I have to make my decision. I want to look at their shit again. Because the guy that I think it is... was Garrett? Which one says Garrett on it? No, Garrett or Butcher? Hold on. Butcher. This is Butcher stuff. Let's double check this. So that must be his wife's. That is candy for his daughter or whatever, I guess.
This pen is an expensive one, but it isn't
He's
new.
just got a pen. He is the one, logically, with the most training in that way. He needs the money the most. I still think there's something about him trying to take out the gang because they were involved in some way. You feel like you would find, if that's true though, that you'd find something else out now. But then what are the chances of the coincidence that the guy that used to be in the gang was in the same place when all this happened? What are the chances of that? I don't think it's this guy. Based on the fact that, as much as he's a bit of a prick, I think he's just a bit of a prick. I don't think he's robbing banks and shit. It's kind of between these two for me now. But I feel like I should stick with who I think it is. Because I think that whole story makes so much sense. And I think maybe this guy... I still feel like maybe he was supposed to be targeted in some way. Maybe we'll find out in the final cutscene that he blames the gang for something, so he tricked the gang into helping him get the money and then betrayed them. I can watch this ending and come back anyway, so let's go with this, I think. But, then do I condemn him? That's also another question. Reginald Butcher is a dangerous criminal who not only robbed the bank, but also killed all his accomplices. He must be imprisoned. Reginald Butcher's daughter is seriously ill. Because of this, he felt forced to rob the bank before killing his accomplices. In order to take the money necessary for her treatment, let him go that he might save his daughter's life. The daughter shouldn't have to die because of his actions. But also, there isn't really... It's not given me that reason for him to be justified that I wanted. I wonder if I can go and talk to him more. Because I feel like if it had said that he knew about the gang because they'd... and sort of implied that they're the reason his daughter was hurt or his wife was killed, then it would be like, okay, so they fucked you over and nobody did anything about it. So you took it into your own hands. That's completely different from just he needed money, so he teamed up with a gang and then he killed several people. Can I go and talk to him again? Let's try and talk to him again. So back at the hospital, can I talk to you about how your wife potentially died, please?
Shh. Meryl's asleep.
Okay, then no, I guess. Is the point of this that it just wants to make you have the moral decision of whether him looking after his daughter is more important than the fact that he killed two people? Sure, they were two bad people, but we've not even had like a thing of what the gang has really done, have we? Did we? We had a newspaper thing about the gang. Maybe if the gang did something bad enough, we'll just be fine with it. Where was the one about the gang? Alright, here's his criminal record. Small local gang. The gang has been involved in frequent violence, robbery, pickpocketing. So it's not just like... If this had been like, they've murdered loads of people and got away with it, you'd be like, fuck them. But there's a bit of a difference. They've not murdered anyone. This guy has murdered people. Oh, you don't even know what kind of violence. I mean, fighting people's different. It's not the same as murdering people. Also, what was up with this? Is this going to be what the last case is about? Because otherwise, what is this? I need to know more about the snake nest thing. Right, I do also have the option to watch an ending, then change my mind. So maybe I should see what happens if I go with... At the moment, I feel like I don't think the daughter should die because of his actions. And the people that he killed are definitely bad people. But it still feels like he shouldn't have done it. And he should still have some kind of... We should still do something about it. Right, let's just see what happens with one ending. And if I don't like it, I can go back and change everything. So let's try Absolve first and see what happens. Confirm my moral choice. Even though I know, because I've played the game, I know I can change it after.
Mr. Butcher. Shh. She's finally asleep. I knew you'd return.
You should go to Stockholm with your daughter. You will save her. I've made my decision. Leave now.
You understand? I was forced to do.
Oh, so he did definitely do it. We got the right guy, at least.
Perhaps you were.
I had to make up a fucking backstory that the game didn't want to give us. Is that it? It's just like, thanks, see you later. Check conclusion. It's all green, it says we're right. Replay ending. Yeah, the game will load before. It was like a 12-second video. So, let's see what happens. Whoop, whoop. If we condemn him. I wonder if he'll make a case for why we shouldn't. Again, I can just go back and go back to the first one.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Butcher, say goodbye to your daughter. We are arresting you for robbery and murder.
What? You can't do that. What happened to my girl?
You should have thought about that.
You monster. Even if it were true.
So Sherlock's not even like, we'll make sure she's taken care of or anything.
I love you, Meryl.
Yeah, I don't like this ending.
Murder is never proof of love.
So that is true.
Please come with us.
He still does... blah, blah, blah. I don't like that one more. I preferred the first one. I think we're going to go back and make it the first one where he lets them go. But still, the guy shouldn't just get away completely scot-free. I mean, he did still kill 2 people. And there's not enough justification for it. So easy to have put in some justification. I made up some justification for it. Toss that in. Everyone remember the things I said. Alright, so now going back to it being the other one. And this is the first time I've actually looked at both endings. But I feel like I've got the person right each time, which I'm pretty impressed with myself for getting that. We're going with this. We're going with the daughter gets to live because I feel like that's more important than the rest of it. Still just needed some justification. Please, come on now. Accept. Yes. Move on to the last case. Fever dreams.
Holmes, at last you're back. We can't find Kate.
Ah,
She
shit.
went for her lesson, but the teacher says that Kate never arrived.
Mrs. Hudson!
She's gone out to ask around the neighborhood.
Well, fuck. Bad start to the last case. Tell me all the deets,
I
Doc.
hope she'll be back soon, Holmes.
No, I was hoping for more.
Kate! Are you here?
Kate, you just been inside the whole time? Yeah, and obviously we're going into what's-her-face's place.
It's closed.
Going into the street ain't gonna help, is it? Is that an option?
Why?
No, he just says why. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do the old balcony leap, I take it. Alright, get in, get in. Toby! Toby, go find her. Is it from my balcony? Oh, let's look at our letter. Let's read this real quick. Then we'll find our daughter. Hey Holmes, you don't need to repair your window just yet, because this is not over, you filthy scum. Do you think that putting Percy behind bars will save you? There are many, and you will not be able to track us all. And I've missed another letter because there should be one from this case. From the case we just did. Oh no, that's not the one I'm trying to do a different one. That one. Mr. Holmes, I can never thank you enough for all that you have done. I must live with what I did, but you understood me. My Meryl is recovering slowly. Today she managed to eat a little soup. I cried. We have good hope that she will live. With all my gratitude, Reginald Butcher. Okay, I'm happy with my decision more now that I've got a nice
Kate!
backup to say that I was doing good. That she's doing better. Why? Oh. I'm building a character thing. If only the character thing would get off of the fucking thing. So...
She was writing something here.
missing writing. Diary taken.
What happened here?
Took a suitcase.
Why would she take her suitcase?
She was leaving with Alice. It's not just that she was taken by Alice. Alice talked her into it.
Why was it left open?
Dress is missing.
All of her favorites. They packed her things and left. I don't understand. What's that? The sound came from Alice's room. Alice!
Oh, I'm doing this. What the fuck? Turn the ding dang camera.
Kate!
Nope.
Kate! Where are you?
The fuck is happening now?
You never do anything right.
Whoa.
I've had enough of you not caring about me. You don't understand anything. I wish Alice would have adopted me.
Is it here? Why? No, open the door. Oh shit! Bang! Oh, is this actually me breaking into Alice's?
Alice? Where is my daughter?
Your daughter? You don't have one, Mr. Holmes. You never did.
What
My
did you do?
God.
Don't just
My
slap
daughter,
her.
What did you do to her?
What you could never do. I made her happy.
She deserves the slap, but we'll keep
Care
talking.
What you think? Where is Kate?
You fool. You're useless to her. Why even bother?
Oh, I slap her back out.
Holmes, this is useless. She won't
This is
talk.
what she
I'll
wants.
make her talk.
We don't need her. Just use your skill. I'll take care of her.
She wants me to slap her. I'm not giving her the satisfaction. I'm gonna prove that you're a fucking kidnapper, you bastard. We get another chance at a portrait finally. Face of a prick who stole my child. Angry. What's up with the ding dang hat? Black veil, mourning clothes. Don't like that at all. Ticket to Highgate. White traces, used chalk. She doing some occult shit.
This will not change anything, Mr. Holmes.
I remember this place from my last visit. It's different now. Something was taken from here.
Candles near chair. The grimoire. Table of practice. Cupboard. Phonograph still there. Painting, the cradle. Is it still the same picture? Okay, or was that I'm checking off all the past? Oh, the grimoire's gone.
My choice is not entirely correct.
No, it's the grimoire. It's the grimoire that's gone. Oh, I'm supposed to be like marking them off. Sorry. Right. The candles near the chair are gone. The painting's gone. I didn't get that. I'm flicking back and forward. Phonograph's gone. The cupboard is still there. It's because I've got that selected. Table of practice? That is gone. And the wheelchair's just moved.
The choice is not entirely correct.
Oh, what else can I check? Oh, the mirror's gone? Oh, is that like a scrying mirror? The clock. The clock has just moved. It isn't gone. Is the grimoire just somewhere else? The wheelchair's definitely there.
The choice is not entirely correct.
Hamilton's portrait. Let's look at this real quick.
This is what I heard from upstairs.
Oh, sorry, I've got the cradle on there. Oh, what the fuck else? Table of practice isn't anywhere else. Oh, the mirror's just there now. Right, so take mirror off. There we go.
Of Alice's father, William Hamilton, and some items required to conduct a séance are missing.
Okay. Morning clothes, portrait of her father, seance items, ticket to Highgate. There is a possibility that Alice visited Highgate Cemetery before returning to Baker Street. Alice might have performed a spiritual seance to talk to her father, William Hamilton. Family crypt. Alice may have visited Highgate Cemetery this morning to the crypt of her father, William Hamilton, where she performed a spiritual seance in order to talk to him. Did she take Kate with her as well? Now slapping? Slapping might be appropriate now we've got proof.
Watson, keep an eye on her.
Watson, point the gun.
I'll stay here with Alice.
You?
This will not change anything.
I was
Watson.
very nice to not slap you several times. Farewell. I can't use my journal to travel. Oh, we're going to use...
Kate!
Oh!
You're here!
That's quicker than loading screens. I like that a lot.
Kate, what did she do to you? On the crossing.
On the crossing. Oh.
Trampled by feet. Scholar of Rose. Felled by bullet.
Ah, here's the grimoire.
Alice brought them to perform the ritual. Alice brought them to perform
Oh, and that's just the other thing for the ritual.
Those candles have been alight for almost 3 hours. That's where Alice's father was buried.
And James Crabb? And Kimberly Johnston. What's this writing on the wall? Can I imagine what the rest of it says? No?
Earth-digging giant.
Can see the obvious gate there, but let's check the rest of the floor.
Go to the old cemetery.
Oh, is this supposed to be stuff that he'd said to her? Right. Or is that a puzzle for me to solve?
Oh.
What the fuck?
It's Alice's father mummified.
Jesus Christ.
It's Alice's father mummified.
Yeah, I got it. Snake Nest Conspiracy. Oh, it's the thing I found before. In the district of St. Victor, while in the act of demolishing an old house, masons have uncovered a nest of snakes, which has spawned upwards... Oh, God, they're not going to try and do this shit to Alice, are they? Which has spawned upwards of 100 squirming reptiles. These reptiles did inhabit the bottom of a well, long since dried up. In the middle of this snake nest, there was the skeleton of a child who had likely plunged down into the well to his or her death. Surprisingly, the skeleton in question was still holding a red Morocco portfolio, much disintegrated apart from one legible strip of paper which read, "Do not reveal the plot."
Madame Destiny. A map of British rivers. A storm lamp. Alice keeps her father's belongings in this room, even the canteen from his boat.
On the floor? Something about the bed.
Alice sleeps here. Alice is not merely peculiar, she is mentally ill. I hope Kate didn't see this.
She sleeps in this room with her dead father and talks to him. Is that a whip? Right. Is there anything else to take away from here?
And 4 others. These writings
I
constitute
think I just missed one.
message, a guide.
We just got to rearrange them into an order, yeah? Inspect the crypt for his father, find Kate. And why are you telling me to open that? Well, surely I've got to put this shit together. Any finer details to notice? Anything in here? No. Right. Go to the old cemetery and find the crypt on the crossing of 4 others. Felled by bullets, scholar of roads, earth-digging giant, and trampled by feet. So is that a puzzle we're going to have to go solve? I feel like putting that together should have been a puzzle that we did. Considering the one that didn't make sense with the Mayan calendar stuff, I feel like this is the kind of thing that we should have to do. Right, the old cemetery is that way, thanks to this convenient sign. How do I get in? Oh, I'm looking for something around here. And is that just part of... Go to the old cemetery and find the crypt on the crossing of 4 others. On the crossing of 4 others. Right, do I need to go into here first? Let me look around a little bit more. Ah. Right, I missed the thing. That's why it wouldn't let me go through the gates yet. There's Kate's diary. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Right, I was missing part of the story. I'm with Alice at the cemetery. We are going to speak to her father. The ceremony scares me, of course, but I'm excited too. I shouldn't allow myself to feel scared, as what is to follow will be even scarier. She is so beautiful. She has prepared the candles, the portrait. She looks so relaxed. I cannot present myself from trembling. She begins, she calls him. She is turning in on herself. What? She is muttering. I cannot understand. As she speaks a strange language. She's holding chalk... It's lucky she wrote down step by step what was happening. She is holding chalk sticks in both of her hands. I am trembling. I cannot help it. Her eyes are white. Her movements are convulsive. As one in the throes of death. She doesn't see me. She begins to speak as him. And it's horrible. I want to cry. She is writing everywhere with both sticks of chalk.
Where do we find him, Father?
Where do we find him?
Alice, my daughter.
Alice?
I know the answer to your question.
Do you think that this was a better scenario for you than your dad being a bit preoccupied by work, do you?
I can't believe that Alice made my little girl go through all this. Damned woman!
I like the big door she's drawn though. Just artistically, that's kind of cool. Right, can I go solve the thing now? Find the crypt that Alice mentioned. I sure will. Can I look in this quickly though?
Kate's suitcase. Why did she leave it here?
No, I guess not. Right, we're gonna go to the old cemetery. I feel like maybe we won't be doing too much actually detectivizing. No deductions this case. More solve puzzles, find daughter, potentially slap Alice. Inspect the cemetery crypts. Yep, I gotta find the 4.
I need to recall
Referred to in Alice
things
messages.
buried in the cemetery.
Painter of portrait miniatures had 3 younger brothers from Oxford. Oh, so then I used the imagination to do the bit in between. Harry Quinn and poet wrote survived tuberculosis. Wrote in Cumbrian dialect. Right, let's double check those things. Oh, I can just bring it up. Go to the old cemetery. Right. Felled by bullets. Let's just do them in order. Right, we'll look for felled by bullets first. Archaeologists owned Romano-British remains. Were 7 feet tall. Oh, okay. This is earth-digging giant, so this is one of them. Scholar of roads trampled by feet. An unnamed crypt. No information. Oh, there's one. Governor of Jamaica. Why would the Governor of Jamaica be buried here? Grandson of Archbishop had lush whiskers. I don't think that fits with any of them. Oh, here's one. Jeffrey Travers, English barrister. Not barrister, barrister. He didn't make coffee, he was a lawyer. I don't think that fits with one. Here's a big one. Botanist died of typhus. Educated at Eton College. Don't think that fits. Scholar of Rhodes. Prominent fish merchant. Amateur boxer. Explorer. Knew Arabic and Chinese. Was killed by an elephant. Trampled by feet. Alright. 2. We still need someone who was shot. Architects was shot in a duel. There we go. Right, so if they have to cross, it's that one over there, this one there, so it must be at the complete other side, right? Harry Quinn. So we're looking for Scholar of Rhodes. Nothing for that. Right, and I selected this one, so sort of there, so it should be over here, roughly. Governor of Jamaica. I don't know if that Scholar of Rhodes makes sense for that. Is there anything? Maybe there's one at the top of this hill? Can I go up here? Archibald Owen. Ah, cartographer. Preferred coffee. What a weird thing. Produce a map of all major roads in England. One, I don't know how he's finding out any of this information about people, but preferred coffee. Was he just psychic now? Alright, is this one? Alright, and then we'll use our imagination. Is it that fiery bit in the centre? I'll go back down. And we'll use the imagination when I'm close enough to actually do something about it. It's totally up on this plinth, right? Oh, maybe not. Oh, it's like a... Here feels in the middle of these two? It's somewhere around here. Oh, do I just need to tick that I've got them? Okay, then it's making me the actual place. Great. Well, the point was for me to use the imagination. Why did that bother coming up then? Right, so it's this here, which is an unknown one, I guess. And not actually a crypt, just some stairs.
Kate! Kate!
Jeez.
Kate, my dear child. I do not know when you will hear this message, but I do know that one day you will be here, Kate. My blood, my light. I rue the day I lost you in the living world. Death is nothing to me, except to leave you behind and with him.
With the band Him.
Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. Will you have to understand? He is your worst enemy. But because he so loves to hide behind the mask of his dubious morality, he would never kill you. Holmes.
Who the fuck is this?
Holmes. I'm certain that he never understood you.
My previous theory that she was Moriarty's daughter has gone out the window.
Too often having him as your father.
This is too satany. It really fit his steez.
Don't distress yourself, my child. I died by his hand. But your questions are over since you now know. You are mine, daughter. What matters is that you continue my work.
Pretty vain to make such a big statue of your dang face.
My flesh, before Holmes's eyes and in front of the world, Kate Moriarty has...
Oh, she is Moriarty's daughter. I don't even need to play the previous games, I figured that shit out. I'm guessing at the end of the previous game you killed him and then adopted her.
Kate. Oh no. She knows everything now.
This is very Satan-y for
To
Moriarty.
be like this.
He's more like nefarious. Like, I don't feel like he would follow some...
The dynamics
I
of
don't feel like he would be religious.
work by Professor James.
Maybe he was more religious in the books and just not in a lot of adaptations. My observation of the asteroid movement through my telescope led me to the discovery of 2 new stars, which I called Mirach and Adil. Mirach, is that how you say that? Together with other dim stars, they create a marvellous constellation, and its shape reminds me of my dear girl Caitlin. Is Moriarty not frickin' dead? Or is Alice also talking to Moriarty?
Star with an extremely precise carving.
Yeah, that's a key.
Young Katie. Father.
And that son of a bitch with the giant face. So is this his tomb? Got another note from a diary. Kate's poem. From childhood's hour I have not been, as others were I have not seen. As others saw I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken, my sorrow I could not awaken. My heart to joy as the same tone, and all I loved alone. Then in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life was drawn, from every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. I'm sorry, Kate, this is a fucking awful poem. I know you're a child, but this is dog shit and you should do better. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. Great.
That's a ribbon from Kate's hair. Kate met her true father. I need to find Alice. I'll make her speak this time. Professor James Moriarty. Because I could not stop for death, you kindly stop for me. The carriage held but just ourselves. Mortality.
And immortality. Also, you've read that super quiet, man. It's noisy in here. All the game's audio is like super freaking loud. Ah, right. This is... Oh, do I need to go back to Kate and then come back here? Because I've solved this puzzle. This needs to make the constellation that reminded him of Alice using that final star, right? Or can I do that now?
Metal star with an extremely precise carving.
Do I need to Sherlock Vision over it? Because I figured it out. Was this a talk to Alice and then come back here? Right, I might not be able to do this for now. But that seems pretty obvious. And also I think I'm going to leave it there for this episode. It's slightly earlier than normal. But I feel like we're probably halfway through this case, considering I don't think that this case is going to be us looking into stuff. I feel like it's just going to be us doing little puzzles and then, you know, deciding whether to murder Alice or whatever's going to happen towards the end. So that's it for this episode. See you next time. Let's kill Moriarty again, as apparently I did in a previous game. Goodbye! We're going to be waiting
really
a while
is.
until he flipping leaves, aren't we?
Yep. Well, time to check our emails.
Oh, exactly. Oh no, he just disappears. That's
I just opened an email
That's
that
good.
said I could get a big penis.
better. Aww.